Greetings, greetings, humanity. I am Jim, and as you can tell, we've been having technical issues tonight, but we finally made it here. So thank you all very much for coming. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is Channel Other Doc. This is our short campaign of Dune: Adventures in the Imperium, a game by Modiphius Entertainment that adapts the universe of Frank Herbert's Dune series. This may very well be the finale. We've had many a thing happening, and I know we've been barreling toward this grand event that is likely to be happening, and so I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what happens. But let's go ahead and say who we are and who we're playing, starting as always with Lynn. Hello.
Hey everyone, I'm Lynn, Shive, and tonight I am playing Talis Jado, also Shive, the aide to the consort.
Excellent, excellent. And now we will head over to Jen. Hello.
Hello, I'm Jen, they, them, and I'm playing Hunter, he, him, who is a smuggler, kind of for House Versai.
Seem to be doing some more contracting lately. I don't know if I'd even call it contracting. Side gig. And now we will head over to Janie. Hello.
Hi, I am Janie Pot 7575. I play Esther or Rose or whatever she's calling herself, the heir.
Excellent. And now we'll head over to Nicky. Hello.
Hello there. I'm Nick Hive, and I am playing Silas Chin, the bodyguard to the heir of House Versai.
Excellent. And of course, I am playing Nero Ionis Versai, who is also he/him, and he is the Spacing Guild liaison. And like we do with other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, N card, and O card, in case you happen to see us use these things and wonder what we're doing. So if we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type in X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or like hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that, again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain references to violence, betrayal, drug use, imperial oppression, body horror, colonialism, worms, hallucination, thirst, and starvation. If you want to see that at any time, you can type !Dune CW in the Twitch chat, and that will pop up. That'll also be coming up not at random, but regularly. It'll be on rotation as we go. Finally, please remember, we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. And now, without further ado, I shall be handing things over to our GM, Brian. Hello!
Hi, I'm Brian. My pronouns are he, him, and I am running this thing. So the first thing, I know everybody's got stuff that you were doing, and you will still be able to do it. But in the course of doing your things, each of you has received word that the consort would like you to meet with her. And by each of you, I mean all of you. The language of it implies that it's not an individual meeting, that all of you will be there. And the time is slightly less than one standard day from the point at which you receive the invitation, meaning or invitation. And the so you have one standard day to do the things that you were planning to do, and or react to this message in whatever manner it is that you're doing. So just to make sure I remember right, actually, Hunter, I know what you were up to. You were turning those weather machines back on. That was your main thing.
And stocking my ship for a long journey.
Oh, and that is next on. Yeah, I see that here. So,
yeah, and I have like
Yeah.
one thing that I would do in addition after getting that
okay.
invite when you have a chance.
Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Obviously, the turning the weather machines on takes a little while, but it is easily achieved. And you are also making sure that Rose's name is attached to it, if I recall, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Though, some of the people that see what you're doing are also, I mean, they're like they get that you're doing it in her name, but they also see you doing it. So there's,
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll swing back. Oh, well, I should go ahead. What is the other thing that you wanted to do, that you are doing?
Do we know the location where we're meeting the consort?
Yes, it's actually going to be
being told to
that
come
same meeting, the same room that you just had the
Yeah.
meeting with Rose.
Yeah, I'm gonna find as many paths as I can from that room to my ship.
Okay. You've given the fact that you're pretty familiar with that room already, just in your head you have 3. And you will but you can spend some time and effort to find a couple others.
Yeah.
Just to make
Well,
sure.
and like just staking out like where are
Yeah.
guards, like I'm just
Yeah.
ready to make a hot exit. is
You
what I'm
are-
saying.
You are ready. But you're planning to attend the meeting, is what I'm hearing. Just I mean, just
Time to think. I have time to think. I'm thinking.
yeah. You've got a day. I got you. All right.
I got it.
Okay, so Nero, I know that you were on to Operation Gambling Boat.
Yes.
And Operation Gambling Boat is go. The goal of that was the primary goal of that to get the information from apartment guy.
Yeah.
Ultimately, okay.
Yeah, that was
So
the main
that
thing.
act-
Yeah. Secondary things involve like getting important people on there to implicate themselves, but that's just
Yeah,
for fun.
Exactly. That's while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Which ties into what Silas was doing. Silas was definitely helping get apartment guy onto that boat, which you totally did. And as I recall, the other thing that you wanted to get was, it's like when the time was right, you wanted to get one of those dead drop packages, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you, the helping to get apartment guy on the boat is actually not that difficult. So that is between you and Nero, you can easily manipulate that. And what is more difficult is getting the timing right on picking up the dead drop thing. But you've observed it long enough, you know what you're doing. But as you pointed out last time, the primary drawback here is, of course, once you do that, they know that drop zone is dead, as it were. It is you've burned that zone for them. However, the information that you get when you do pick up the thing is actually you've got pictures of 2 of House Versai's servants.
Oh. Ooh, who are they like part of the wall from that apartment?
They are not. They actually, that's not true. One of them was. The other one was not on the wall.
Okay.
Both of them are relatively low level as far as these things go. Neither one is as highly placed as, say, Ruby was. The one that everyone is certain has been replaced. These two are, I mean, they're lower level, but they have access to most of the house. They are, one of them is a basically a kitchen servant, and the other one is more of a sort of a kind of like the logistics staff. Basically, the people that you tell, like, we need this room set up for a banquet for 20, go. That person's on that staff. So these are people that have reason to be at different parts of the house at different times. But they are not, unlike Ruby, they are not necessarily directly privy to a lot of important information.
What did the dead drop say about those two?
It's unfortunately written in code, but to some extent, it's the code. You can figure it out because you've dealt with codes like this. You're certain that part of it is definitely a date and time range. So, like, do this thing between these times or don't do it at all. And you suspect that the goal is to abduct or kill the servants, and most likely have them replaced like Ruby was.
Okay.
You're about 85% sure that's what's going on here.
Okay, in that case, I will order my thorns to watch the two servants, not to tip them off or anything. I'll tell them, oh, your life is being threatened, but just to watch them.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And wait for their move, and then see if we can take someone in.
Gotcha. Yes?
We can fold this in. If we know that, do we know this? I just need to know this. Do we know this? Do we have this before the interrogation happens on the boat?
Yeah, you would.
This is wonderful news. Does apartment guy leave the drops or pick them up typically?
He leaves them.
Okay.
So we have no info on who picks it up.
Yeah, you haven't seen anyone pick them up yet. You've only seen this guy leave them.
Okay.
That's not true. No, you've seen people pick them up. Yeah, that's not. That's sorry about that. You've obviously seen people pick them up because you had people watching it. So you've got. However, the people picking them up do tend to rotate.
So it's different each time.
Yeah.
Yeah, apartment guy is the only constant.
That's perfectly fine.
In that case, I will try to hand the faces of those people who pick up the dead drop to my pirate friend to see
okay.
To see if it sort of like matches with his reports of who stole his machines.
The first few don't, but then one of them he says, "Well, I don't know if this person stole from us, but she's definitely been hanging around in places that." She probably shouldn't. You're saying she's connected to something else?
Perhaps. What else have you found out?
About what? I mean, what are you asking him about?
Also about more info about those people who stole from him.
Oh, yeah. He says, we managed to trace it back to, and the point on the map is one that a lot of people have been pointing out lately. It's that one island that House Latan still owns.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I am so tempted to just storm the whole place. Oh, temptation.
I love that. Silas also by himself too. It's,
Yeah. That's all I need.
Yeah. I mean, the evidence is mounting. I'll tell you that.
Seeing how much it's an island, right? Like a relatively small one.
Yeah, fairly. Yeah, yeah, maybe just about. It's relatively small, say compared to the big island that most of the stuff over here is on. But it's still, you know, it's a decent size. It's big enough to have like several buildings on and things like that.
Okay,
They have a whole compound there.
all right. I will put people to watch as well, but not like maybe if there are like any small, like atolls or like islets nearby, just put some people there to watch. Not like an actual boat because that would be too obvious.
That would be too much. But yeah, you've got some long range stuff you could use. That'll work.
Yeah. Okay, and then I will inform this to the others, especially Talus, and I will float the idea of assault to them, to like everyone that I'm telling this to see if this is the
Trial
wisest course.
balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just putting it out there as a potential thing.
I mean, we have these weapons. We have a bunch of guys with other weapons. We can do it.
Yeah.
It seems like a shame just not to use these boats. So many boats.
Yep.
I got you. Okay. Well, actually, that brings us to Talus. So, Talus, you had the security people, specifically the intelligence people, working on a couple of things. The first one was trying to get information about Ruby and her. Basically, first off, they've confirmed that she was either abducted or murdered. There's no question of that. They have narrowed it down to about a 45-minute period during which it had to have happened. They are leaning towards her being dead at this point, just given that they're not able to find any trace of her around, and the fact that this entire world is made of a great place to hide bodies is sort of it makes it a little more difficult. Yeah, there's your problem on trying to locate, an actual corpse. So they've managed to and given the time and locations it had to have happened, they determined they just basically started going through any surveillance footage that they could from any of the possible areas that her abduction or murder could have happened. And what they've determined was the people doing this had a really good idea of what places had surveillance cameras, and picked one that didn't, which at least tells you something about the kind of people you're dealing with. But unfortunately, it doesn't give you specific information about who did it. Having done that, these are A, intelligence people, and B, they've got Mentats working there too, obviously. So they've basically just begun doing the calculations. They're trying to figure it out, and they have a list of people that I mean, they kind of did the Mentat thing. They started with the list of people that could possibly have done this, and then just started narrowing it down. So they are in the process of working on that, because it's kind of a brute force task to do that. But the head of the intelligence service did want to give you a report on that. And given the nature of the information, obviously they wanted to give you this information in person and not by any means that could be intercepted. So they totally did that. And after this report, they say, is there any direction you'd like us to go in other than what we've already done?
Were you able to find anything more about the smuggler in our employ?
Oh, yes, but the consort already came to pick that up.
Do you have a copy of it?
Yes, of course. He seems puzzled by that, but um, moments later, actually, before he says that, he says, "In what format would you like the copy?"
Paper.
And he does so. So yeah, takes a few minutes, and he prints it out. It is a mid-sized dossier. And he doesn't say anything about what's in it. He just hands it to you.
By this time, did we get the missive about the meeting?
Yes. You probably received it on your way to talk to intelligence guy.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not in the way with this, can I assist in the Ruby information gathering?
Oh, absolutely. Let me show you what we have. And at that point, he shows you the raw data as opposed to just telling you what it is. Because he is not a Mentat, but he works with you and other Mentats. So he's like, oh, I need to show you the Mentat view. And then goes over and like brings that in. And basically just sets up a station for you to review what they've got. And yeah, the first off, looking at it, you find no flaws in their data collection. And you notice that they have done a remarkable job of avoiding any assumptions in the course of doing this. They are literally just compiling everything related to this and filtering out the stuff that can't possibly be. And again, they have done a good job of that. Sometimes that sort of bias leads to not considering things that could be related, but in this case, no, they're casting a really wide net. So, you've also caught up to what the Mentats in the intelligence service have already done, so you can kind of see what their calculations currently are, or at least were as of 15 minutes ago.
All right. Is there anything I can do to kind of like work on this?
Yeah, actually. As Mentats go, you are actually of a higher order than the ones that are in the intelligence service. So you putting your like mental weight into this is going to speed it up significantly.
Yeah, we don't have. We have a new meeting in like less than 24 hours, so we have to figure this out.
Okay, you can work on it. I'll get back to you when you do. But yeah, because obviously it just takes a while. But yeah. Though I will tell you, within the first hour, you're able to discount several paths of inquiry that are obviously not going to be fruitful. So you help narrow down what everyone's doing, and this will go faster because it's not just you working on it. You are all doing a little kind of a gestalt thing where you're sharing what you've got.
Nice philosophical reference.
Yeah, thanks. And it is one of my favorite concepts. So, speaking of which, did you look at the dossier on Hunter before you started this?
Yeah, I think she's like multitasking a little bit.
All right, so you now know Hunter's secret. I will tell you that because that's one of the first things they put on there. They were like, "Oh crap, this guy used to do this thing." But you can also tell by the nature of it. It took them a lot of effort to find that out. Hunter had hidden this information so impressively well that actual trained intelligence operatives had to really work to figure it out.
Well, this might work out for us, considering we haven't done anything about this. So we'll deal with the first problem first.
Fair enough.
And I'll tell the security person if it's discreetly randomize the security a little more. These seem to be found out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn places, take away, add, whatever you can do to put things in disarray a little bit.
Understood. And he moves to do that. Let's see. I think that brings us to Rose. So let's see. What are you doing between getting the request to go meet with? Now I know the last thing you were doing was. Well, actually, the last thing you were doing, you were talking about figuring out more stuff about working with the people on the of the planet. And but so yeah, what are you do during the day that you've got before the meeting?
I'm just going to do some not fake party planning. I guess I'm actually doing some of it. Or
yeah, that's what's great. You actually are planning a party. So.
It's going to go between the fake party planning, and while I'm doing that, I'm chatting up the locals and getting them, finding out just about them and how the noble house of the island that is there now can help more.
That part goes remarkably well. First off, because if there is anything that Rose has like. If there's anything that Rose's like sort of party girl persona has trained her for, it's having conversations with people. I mean, this is actually great. So yeah, you're on that. And then focusing on that, I mean, you get a lot of people that are clearly suspicious of your motives when you ask them this, and some of them won't talk to you for that reason. But then you get another group of people that either are eventually won over by what seems to be an earnest desire to find out what they want. And also some people are just pleasantly surprised that, someone like you is asking them this. So that's how that goes around. So yeah, you're actually, and the more you talk, the more you realize that House Latam was in fact on multiple levels doing a terrible job. It was pretty impressive. Not only were they not treating the people that lived here well, they were also mismanaging the resources of the planet. And it's impressive. Okay, mismanaging, say, the resources of a desert planet that only produces one cool thing, that's easy to do. Mismanaging a planet that has tons of things that you can sell to people. They were just like, they were focused on the wrong things. And then at the end, things really started to fall apart for them. And no one's even sure about that because they quit communicating. So yeah, your attitude towards the people that live here is markedly different because you're someone clearly labeled as, one of the new people taking over, and they are just, some of them are like, again, some of them are so freaked out they don't talk to you, but the ones that do and believe that you're honest about this are giving you, you've got a long list of ideas. They're like, oh yeah, I got it, and another thing we can improve. So
am I able to get vendors to like do the party stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was actually pretty easy. Once you had that list, getting them to come was great. And again, this is a planet full of people that like, for anything that you would want for this party, you're going to be able to find someone here that can provide it. It's not you really don't have to go off world for any of the stuff. Unless there is like literally a thing that only occurs on some other planet that you need to bring in.
And she's going to make everything on world then.
Okay, that's easy to do. And actually that helps. Reginald's glad to hear that because that helps him narrow down the what's required. So, and honestly, it makes the communication easier. You can literally just walk down the street and talk to that person as opposed to having to worry about, communications off world.
Yeah, and less cost with shipping and stuff too, probably.
Oh, that's a fair point. You're actually saving the house money, which is kind of a nice bonus.
Oh wait,
Um,
I guess I could check and make sure that we don't need anything smuggled with like the group or I know Hunter does the smuggling.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Occasionally.
But yeah, if anything needs to be smuggled, of course I'll make sure there's arrangements.
That's a good point. Although most of the stuff that Hunter needed to bring in, Hunter already brought in. Kind of like when he arrived, he arrived with a shipment of stuff that he had been asked to procure, and so that's already here. Though again, if you come up with anything, I hear you know a guy, but that's a fair point. Okay, so Hunter, you said you've got one more thing to do.
I want to talk to Paolo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy to do. He is his door remains open to you, so yeah, you can get in to see Paolo.
I'm going to make sure that I talk to him in a place that we're both fairly certain is confidential.
Okay, I mean that's his office. He is again. Once you're in there, he flips that switch, and you can feel the air tighten around you, and you're certain that well, as he puts it, if anyone can penetrate this, we have bigger problems.
And I hand him some. I get him like right at the end of his shift, so I can like hand him some of the wine that he asked for at the beginning. And we can get like well and truly like sauce before
outstanding.
I have this part of the conversation.
Okay, fine. So that at least because you and Paolo are in the same room and you've each had enough to drink, there is a period of reminiscing about your shared past. So that
and in fact I do that in many ways on purpose. Yeah, lots of reminiscing, lots of laughing, especially about the silly shenanigans I got up to when I was a little boy.
Yep.
And all the times he caught me. And I'm gonna say I'm leaving.
I'm not surprised. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not surprised.
Being at that place, seeing the Bene Gesserit bullshit, I realized that none of us nobles belong anywhere. If you go back generation by generation, what house ever rules the place that it's from? None of them. So I'm going to be a nomad because that's the only thing that I should be. Just a nomad out in space where there aren't any eyes or ears and no politics, no backstabbing.
I felt lost for quite a while once everything went to hell. But once I realized exactly what you have just realized, I felt more free with the Salt Guild than I ever did with the nobles. And don't get me wrong, the guild's got its own levels of politics and backstabbing.
Of course.
But
of course.
Here's the thing. We provide a service. And when it comes to that, we're honest about it.
It is not simply for the enrichment of you and your family and your retainers.
That is merely a side effect.
And you're not prepared to drop Yahiri at any moment for some bigger and better endeavor.
Precisely. This is my home now.
Are you happy with it? Are you happy with the life you've made here for yourself?
Not always, but I'm content.
If you should ever find yourself otherwise, and have the inclination to spend some time as a nomad, there's a spot on my ship for you.
And that invitation works both ways. I'm not asking you to join the guild. That's not for you. But you've seen what we do here. And you know that we've got need of people with your skills. So I do hope you and a few more bottles of that find your way back around here sometime.
If by the end of the next 24 hours, it is possible for me to approach this planet without risking my skin, I will take you up on that offer and you will be my prime client. If, and it's a big if.
Interesting. I'm curious, but I'm not going to ask.
Well, I am. You helped me escape once. And I know that it's too much to ask. But if I need you, will you help me escape again?
At a moment's notice.
And I give him the time of the meeting and like a location that I feel like is close enough to multiple exits.
Yeah.
Ask him if you might be inclined to make an excuse to be in that location at that time.
Fishing's good out there.
It sure is. I hope you catch something bigger than you've ever caught before. And very salty.
Yes. As do I. And he says, but just in case I don't see you, he reaches into a drawer and hands you it's a small harp, and it's you recognize it. It's the one that one of the ones you were trained on when you were young. You left this behind.
I was terrible on that. Just oh my goodness. Thank you.
Well, now you have time to practice again.
Parsec will not thank you for that gift, but I do. And I give him a hug. Just a strong embrace.
Oh yeah, he returns that.
Before I stagger home.
Yeah. Right. The good news is you're not having to drive or fly anything.
Right. Exactly. For a few hours at least.
Yes, you've got some time to sleep it off. Although I can't imagine Hunter's the kind of person that gets hangovers, so you'll be fine tomorrow.
I more give the appearance of being drunk than really at this point being able to be.
You and Rose have that in common. That's actually really good. All right. So the only thing I think that Operation Gambling Boat is going to wrap up before the meeting happens. So what information are you trying to get? That's the question. What's your end result here? Or what is your hoped for end result?
Our hoped for end result. My thought is that it's to get them to spill whatever they know. And to okay. Let me try to crystallize this. I'm going to have a few things. I'm sorry, I have to talk to get this out because I have to talk to access the pieces of the brain.
I get that.
Where I keep the information, it will not tumble out until I start talking.
This is why I'm usually the game master. I'll just tell you that. It gives me the opportunity to do exactly that. Carry on, sorry.
Since we have the, if we can, this is sort of tied up in the process. The first thing is to convince this person that they have a turncoat in their organization. We do that. for a couple of things. I've picked up Mask of Power. That ability, which involves creating an asset, creating a false asset to start an intrigue.
Okay.
And so there's going to be, I will have received a transmission that does not identify its source.
Right.
That basically told us to look in the in that restaurant.
Sure. Yeah. The restaurant. Yeah.
And so basically, and then secondarily, show that we in fact have the photos. Here are your photos, by the way. You might need those. And it's basically to find out that. So sorry, the end result. I'm trying to skip past what I'm doing and tell you the end result if I can.
I got you. Yeah. But I know you got to go.
I have a way I'm going to do it, but
yeah.
End result is to you have a mole or someone who is selling you out.
Right.
B, you leave us alone because stop doing this. Stop doing this thing. But we know you're here. So we're watching you. See if possible. It's like it would be possible inroads towards. I mean, depending on what he spills, is tell us everything. We don't want you interfering with. I don't want you to look at my family too much because you're interfering with my business. And if you tell us everything, this may shift depending on what they tell us.
Right.
But if, as we now suspect, they are in fact connected with face dancers. As at least as if Silas tells me this, and he's 85% certain, then the thing is just kind of like, depending on how deep it goes, what information they give us, we're able to get out of them. It's like, we could probably, we could do a lot better for you than whatever it is you have going on here. It's going to be much more profitable. You see how profitable things are. You just look in the other room. Basically convincing them of all that so that they will tell us all that. The biggest piece of this end goal is tell us all you know.
Okay.
Secondarily is you have a mole, and tertiary is we send you back and you've seen me with with Gavril and with this gambling mogul, and that is who you fill in the 2 question marks with.
Ah, fair enough.
And so it's like, so if need be, they resume. Best possible scenario, they stop and they unload everything for us. And we can not have to be enemies with them anymore. Middle zone success would be more they continue spying with false information and then go in directions and down these rabbit holes we've created for them that have
right,
absolutely nothing to do with what we're actually doing. Those are the goals.
The information that you get, you know how these things work enough to believe that what you're getting is most of what he knows. You are also certain that given the way he's talking about things, that this organization is well compartmentalized. It's not quite set up as a cell structure, but it's close. Meaning he knows the people. Actually, he can give you information about where he's getting his orders, but he doesn't know to whom he's passing those orders along, because the dead drop, he's gone, and he literally doesn't know where they go from there. Yeah. But the situation is actually the opposite of what it often is. He has zero knowledge of anything below him, but he's got a little bit above him. And what you get for the level above him is that it is clearly related to, and again, he's not telling you this because he doesn't know what you know,
Mhm.
but the way he's talking about it and the information you've gotten from everything else that you've observed about all of what's going on, tells you that yes, obviously the center of whatever's going on is definitely the island that Latan owns, and that House Tlilax is decidedly involved. And again, he doesn't know that. He has no clue about that.
Yeah. Okay.
But the way he's telling you, you're filling in the gaps from what you've already learned. So you're convinced of that. You don't know. You don't know to what extent, but you believe. Oh, actually, no. You have every reason to believe that House Tlilax is operating literally from the island, from Latan's island. So it's not just that the stuff was delivered there. You believe Tlilax has agents on the island now.
Okay. And
Because
which island again? Remind me.
The one that Latan owns.
Latan Island. Okay.
The only place that's still there is on the island.
Right. Gotcha.
On the planet. Sorry.
Yeah.
So and in fact, you know enough about House Latan, and you know enough about House Tlilax that the way that this is going down doesn't feel like House Latan's even involved anymore.
Ah. So this could be a thing where Tlilax used Latan as a way in, and then they've taken over the operation, possibly.
That's how it feels. Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know. They have hijacked the. Can you hijack someone else's Kanli like that? It's very unsporting of them. I think that's against. I believe that's actually against the rules of Kanli, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Which might explain why they're having to still make it look like it's Latan.
Yeah.
So,
that's very interesting. Okay.
It's a good workaround. It's a good loophole into.
Oh, this might be as simple as just exposing them. Okay. Great.
Damn it! Can't kill anyone.
Well, the question becomes, just for this, and this is a minor thing, is Guy bribable?
Okay. Yes, definitely. It depends on what you're asking him to do.
Oh, it's very simple.
But you can tell he has a price. Go ahead. Yes.
It's keep us okay. So here's the service we're requesting. We'll see if we can match the price. And understanding he's actually apparently a very small cog. You just keep telling us what you know, and we'll spin some stories for you to tell your bosses. And we will help you with your gambling problem. And perhaps there will be more in it for you in the future.
The amount that you end up agreeing to tells you how much resources are being poured into this one guy. But it is not something House.
He had a lot of spice in there, so that's that.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's being paid really well up to this point. So beating that price takes a little more than you thought it would. But nothing that you can't afford.
I also kind of want to sort of tempt him in with the allure of you see these folks. This is going to be happening like once a month. If you want to be able to network with these people, you want to get into the big leagues. You want to be more than a cog.
That totally helps. Got it.
Okay, that's so. All right, here are your photos back. Go put them where they need to go. And, you're terribly sorry they're late, and we can help you make it up to them.
Right. All right. So in that case, let me get back to Talus because it takes a while. But like I said, the process is definitely hastened by the fact that multiple mentats, not just multiple mentats are working on this, multiple mentats that have worked together before. So all of this, you guys have been able to sync with each other pretty well. What questions are you trying to answer first, I guess is the you're muted.
If there's any like hint of where the abductors were coming from, where they're going, if there's anything that we can like identify them with.
Eventually, if you're focused on that, that is actually it's time consuming, but it's not terribly labor intensive, if you see what I mean. Following that path is pretty easy. It's just got a lot of steps in it. So it takes a while, but yeah. And everyone say it with me. It's that house. It's that island, the Tannins. However, as you're looking through this, some things are not falling into place properly until you realize that an organization bigger than House Latan is definitely involved in this. And you've already heard Talilak's back and forth. So it's easy enough to fill that in. But once you've got that, you're like, oh, this is House Latan could not have done these things that we're spotting.
I think there's like in this scene, I think there's a lot of standing. It's like, that thing where you have like your hand like, and then the other arm is just like tucked and just like staring off.
Yeah. Right.
So we have
it's a whole lot of that.
A lot. All right. So we have that's it's confirming a bunch of things that we had suspicions of with the face dancer and everything. What was the method of security breach, or what was the area of weakness that they exploited?
It was actually literally just physical security. They clearly found a gap in the actually what they found was not a gap in the security at the house. They found there weren't many of them, and they clearly had to make careful observations to determine this. But they found one of the few times that Ruby was going to be away from the actual house building. Like she was going to be away from that for long enough for them to capture her, and during which she would not be observed, because she was one of those people that clearly had, like, she wasn't hiding who she was or what her position in the house was, which meant that people were observing her as much as possible while she was out in the city. So they found, and now that you're looking at this, you see, like, if you were going to do what they did, you spot the points in which you would have done it. And they picked a good one. They just, it's like right there.
Okay, just want to follow, like, double check. Also, is this like honest oversight? Like,
it is.
I think she's going to go back and like look at like anybody that was like, just make sure that this is like honest oversight or like very well hidden like maneuvering.
Yeah, you don't think anyone was bribed to look the other way.
Okay, so
you don't even think they caused a distraction to get people to look a different way. You think they literally just made predictions as to when the most likely and most advantageous times would be, and then seized one of those.
Yeah, I think on her pad she's going to write down suggestions to see what we can do about like covering these little gaps in our security that we have happening.
Yeah, you believe
if they
that,
can find out, I mean, if they did this, that means the entirety security setup we have here could be compromised, just because it's like they know the gaps. Gaps exist everywhere on the thing, and it might be the similar gaps.
Yeah, you can cover those holes. Yeah, you can make that happen.
I'll you know what I'll do? This is pertinent to Silas, so I'll send that over.
Yeah.
Like there's anything that you can do, you are the security expert. There's anything that this could reveal that I am not necessarily extremely versed in. I figured this could help, just in case they had something planned also for the heir or any other members of the house to exploit these. Who knows? It might also work in our favor now that we know.
Yeah, fair point.
They also don't seem to realize that we picked up as much as we've got on them.
Yeah, you
still runs free.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't imagine that they're aware of what you found out right now by any means.
Yeah.
So yeah, good point. All right. Anyone else have anything to do before meeting time?
Is Hunter coming to the meeting?
Okay.
Sounds like it.
What are the customs of this meeting? Is it possible to come packing heat?
Let me think about that. Actually, yeah.
Definitely doing that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. This isn't that kind of situation. So yeah, you could.
I mean, Silas will be here.
Yeah, I mean, my sword doesn't leave my side.
That's true.
How close to the soiree is this meeting taking place?
You still got a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Before this happens, are we all exchanging information with each other?
You've got time if you want to do that. And keep in mind, you don't have to be in the same place. You do have radio waves exist. You can text and or vocally communicate with each other, or you could be in the same place. I'm just letting you know. You have many different ways to share whatever if you want to do that before you meet. Yes.
With all of these things connecting, I think Silas, at some point after hearing this, he's gonna try to figure out what the Bene Gesserit is up to, because I feel
that's right.
He feels.
Thank you.
She's
I totally
the only
forgot.
piece that is not fitting in right now.
That was on your list, and last I heard, you were just going to go ask her, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. But with all of these new information, I want to see if there's I want to know if she's part of this. What's the name of the house? What house?
Wait, which one?
The one that hijacked Latan's.
Tlilax.
Okay, yeah, Tlilax. Quarry, very close. I don't know why.
Okay, well, the good news is you've been having her followed and looked into from the moment you met her. So you've got information. And so first off, you do not believe that she is working for or even connected to House Tlilax. Or if she is, she's doing a remarkably good job of hiding it. Which is not impossible, but you don't think that's what's happening. You also don't think that she is affiliated with the remnants of House Latan that are still here, because she has specifically either avoided them, or when they have approached her, kind of told them to go away. So you don't think that she's actually doing any of that. Let's see, she's definitely really interested in what House Versai is doing. She has definitely been watching all of you. Well, not all of you. She's been watching you as a house, and she has definitely paid attention to Rose. That's for sure. Which is kind of how she got on your radar in the beginning. And also, that she talked to, she spent a fair amount of time over at House Atreides' place for a while. You've got that. And other than that, she's been kind of doing, okay, you know how sometimes Talos will send you on an information gathering mission, which basically means I need you to find out about this, and you end up running around talking to 6 or 7 disparate groups of people. That's what she's doing. She's totally in that mode. She's whatever she's finding, if you were a Mentat, you might be able to take all of those groups and figure out what they're pointing at, but you're not. So you're not really sure about that part.
But she doesn't seem like she has any accomplices, right? It's like she's a solo act right now.
Oh, that's an excellent question. Yeah. Everyone that she's talked to, she has interacted with, more as a contact rather than an ally. So yeah, that's kind of the feeling you've got.
I have a question for Silas, this character or whatever. Did Silas let Rose know that the assassin knew that she wasn't in her room or wasn't at the party?
Silas would reveal that.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say, I'm sorry if you weren't done. I'm sorry. You can finish.
That's all right. What was yours?
I was going to say that Rose was going to talk to Reginald.
Oh, sure.
And tell him that she was kind of worried about assassins.
Sure.
And she would be, she's good at acting, so she'd be really upset about these assassins that are after her.
Uh-huh.
And just worried that they're going to succeed one day. She's feeding him a lot of information on that.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that, well, the thing is, like, he's lower, he's got a lower position in his house than you do in yours, but he still gets it, because that's a thing that everyone is worried about at some level. So yeah, he's, that's an easy thing to get him interested in.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he's got that information that, the assassins are after me, and what am I going to do, especially this close to the thing? Just kind of planting some seeds just in case.
Nice. I like it. Okay, good.
Okay. But the Jester has not done anything like outright hostile, question mark.
Absolutely not. She really hasn't.
You know what? This is making me doubt. Was I sure that at that time of the ball that she was gonna stab someone?
She was definitely thinking about it. You're positive of that.
Okay, so I'm positive that the ploy on the heir's life was genuine. Like, she was going to kill.
Actually, you don't know. Actually, thinking about it now and observing what you have, you don't know that she was going after the heir.
Oh, that changes everything. Wait. What is this piece that doesn't fit? Wait a minute. What does she look like?
She is for the most part, she is relatively she's one of those assassins that's just sort of like average height, average build. She's brown skinned. If you had to put a real world analog on it, maybe South Asian.
Okay.
So she has dark hair, dark eyes, which is important because they are not the blue on blue that some people have that implies heavy spice use.
Okay. All right. I was mostly asking because for a second I was like, wait, is this Jessica in disguise?
Oh.
Like, wait a minute. Because Bene Gesserit hanging out with House Atreides? Wait a minute, but okay.
Just kill and ruin everything.
That would have been
just like that.
Oh my gosh.
The world.
Yeah, she's just pretending to be someone else for a while.
Just like,
I need to deal with. I will still keep an eye on her, but I think right now the bigger problem is House Lilac.
Okay.
I will say that after all the info has been passed on, Silas will again float the idea of storming. Because it's like we've already received basically confirmed that House Lilac is working out of House Latan's old island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will have sent the intel and additional conclusions I'd have drawn from the interrogation that basically Latan is is the puppet, and Lilac is the ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what.
So again, Silas will flow. Why not cut the head off now? They're right there. I've taken the dead drop, so they know that we are closing in. So now would be the best time to strike before they tighten their security. I will put it forth to people smarter than me in subterfuge whether this is a good move.
Well, if we do that, we would have to time getting the evidence that Nero has taken, just to add, just to shore up legitimacy of this raid. It's not just, bloodthirsty vengeance that we're after. This is clearing out a enemy of the Empire out of here.
Yes, but is the evidence enough for the charges to stick? I don't know how criminal justice work here, but
I mean, it's not necessarily criminal justice. This is PR. This is not justice. This is
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
we have legality. I mean, we have legal.
There are laws.
I mean, they are the one that declared on us. I mean,
that's true. They did start it.
We are.
And Lilac hijacked Latan's thing, the feud. I keep forgetting the name.
The Conley? Yeah.
Yes, the Conley.
Yeah. And
so that is also like a crime, right?
Actually, it is. The whole point of the Conley system was to prevent literal just open warfare between the houses.
Yeah.
And it was to codify it, and there are arguments as to how well that works, but what cannot be denied is you're not supposed to do what Flylax appears to have done. You're not supposed to just jump in and
no proxy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. One of the things it was also intended to prevent was sort of proxy wars and things like that. Although, having read the Dune novels,
I mean, just like you got to go through the extra steps of like plausible deniability and stuff like that. But, you can't.
People find ways around that.
Yeah.
And Tlilax also may well have found a way around that,
but kind of don't care.
Yeah, I would say probably like the chief fault that people would find with them is getting caught.
That's exactly right.
So
because so much of your position within the Landsrad and within the hierarchy of houses is whether or not is appearance, is whether or not you are able to.
No one likes them.
Well, see, there's your problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we?
I mean, we could spin. I mean, it's about how good we can spin. I mean, we can
smear campaign.
No, the opposite. We are magnanimous, and we have we save Old House from becoming a proxy piece in
True.
Like betray the higher house to make Latan like loyal to Versai. Like, hey, you're about to be screwed.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah. It works because it's like, oh look. Yeah. These people
is that what you were suggesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I like that. I love that.
I suppose if this stops them from striking at us again, I can go along.
I mean, you may still have your chance.
I look forward to it.
We have to sweep this under the rug for just a little consideration.
Get the paperwork ready. Like just have multiple scenarios ready to basically release, like in case different things.
All the different warrants for every single contingency.
Not different, just like different spin on things. We'll just like we'll just have those ready to go.
All right.
Okay. Good point. All right. Anyone else got anything before meeting?
I needed to ask one thing.
Yes. Oh, you said that. Sorry. Go for it.
Yeah. I have. This is actually a little bit of a meta question. Should I Should I have should I be having a conversation with Hunter before this meeting, or is this something that would wait until after the meeting?
Are you talking? I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
I'm sorry. Should we have we talked to last time a little bit about the possibility of whether we would end up if Nero was going to talk to Hunter about have these sort of like I see you're packing, are you okay conversation.
Right. Like you definitely would probably have the reason to believe, knowing Hunter, that Hunter's not going to be around for very long. So if you want to have a convo,
I have a question.
Is it better to do that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Was Nero on the list of
which list?
People that for the Date people that were that?
Oh yes.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, Nero was on the board. Yeah, he had 2 question marks that we've
good.
Been trying to fill in.
No.
Yeah.
About Hunter. The
Hunter was also on the list.
No. The one I got from the security thing.
Oh, wait. Do you mean? Oh, Nero. No. Only you and the consort, as far as you know, do. And I will point out, like, you're the one that asked for this. The consort apparently just found out.
I want to cause trouble. I want to cause trouble. Do it. I'm gonna send that. Over to. With like, I think there's gonna be it's gonna be a message that's like, you did know about this. She's busy with other things, but she's gonna sense this. Nice. Like this is the equivalent of like the angry, like as angry as she gets with the email, which is just kind of like, just like, you knew about this, right?
I like it. When Talos gets angry, she just gets terse.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It is like for it is exactly that. It's like it's not like verbose. It's not like exactly. It's just like
just. I see Talos as being really into malicious compliance. Just, oh, here's exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
Talos is like the kind of person who, if somebody was flaking on a job and like claimed that she had not told them something, would just forward the previous email with
That's
like
exactly
C
it.
attached or C below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is exactly it. I like it.
Not going to help you. Fix your shit. Too busy.
I don't have time for this.
Perfect.
There's a lot going on right now.
He's your friend.
But got it. Okay. So yeah, you said that. And just to remind me, did we establish that Nero did not know that, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I am not.
But did Nero know whether or not Hunter was the heir to the house that used to run this place?
Nero did not know that.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure I remembered it right. Okay. Yeah.
Because I have talked to literally no one but Parsec about it.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but again,
in this house. No one in this house is.
Yeah. I didn't think so, but I didn't want to be wrong about that. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Yes. All right. So now you know too.
Who is you?
Nero.
Oh, you're sending you?
No. Oh, you like Nero now?
I'm sending you. Yeah.
Talos sends Nero this information?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The last episode.
That changes the.
Just pour it all out.
Oh, that rather changes the tone of things.
I mean, a little bit. You work with Hunter, so it's like.
Yeah. Like.
Please help me. You're taking an eye on this.
So Nero's getting the angry email. You knew this, right?
Yeah. That's
Nero's
exactly
it. Somebody.
Nero's going to be very pause and just sort of be like, I'll look into that.
Wow.
Does anybody else get it, or just?
Right now, I think it's just Nero.
It's just Nero because it's the friend. It's the associate, direct associate.
I guarantee you, by the end of this session, I think everyone's going to know.
Yeah, everybody.
One way or the other, everyone's going to know.
We're going to the meeting, so this is
yeah.
We have common enemy now. Maybe. Who knows?
All right. So, are you talking to? Are you going to talk to Hunter?
Yes.
Okay.
It's imperative now.
Got it.
I feel
Fair
like
enough.
I'm in like a cargo. I'm in like the cargo bay, like packing my shit.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. You're clearly like not even like not subtly. You're just
No,
throwing
I'm like,
stuff on your
yeah.
ship. Just
My-
get out.
My assumption is my thought about the way this was going to go down is you're going to see Jordan first, my 10-year-old, who is basically going to show up to who will be running ahead of me to play. I'd imagined you might find him playing in the cockpit, but let's not be that silly.
God, sabotaging it.
but,
Watch out.
No, he's not
Better than to
sabotaging.
let any of your children anywhere near the
Probably
ship.
it's fair. It's fair. It's fair.
Like, I get
And-
I get the feeling from like your kid that like playing with a ball, but the intention is to throw it in front of someone's like walk and then they break their neck, and it's like that's
Yeah,
how it
yeah.
goes.
right.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, the thing about Jordan is he likes Parsec.
yeah.
And is my kids like your like your pet, your
I
friend.
let Parsec go play with him.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
that's basically what that's kind of like. He's like he wanted to come and see him, he asked him as we were swinging by, and once he's away, it'll just be sort of a thing of like going on a trip, going on a.
Traveling's what I do.
an
I don't
extent-
make any money if I stay in one place.
Yeah, this kind of looks more like you're going on vacation for a rather extended period, or a treat,
Long haul.
a retirement
sometimes pays
possibly
more.
even.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm never gonna retire.
Are you sure? Because
It's not what my kind does.
you're kind.
You ever met a smuggler in retirement?
Not a smuggler in retirement, no. Hunter, I'm getting too old to have to go back to chasing you across the galaxy again. You realize that?
Why would you do that?
I hope I don't have to. Damn it, you could have come to me. We could have talked about this.
You seem to think that I'm smarter than I am. What the fuck is this?
Sorry. Well, I got an email from I got a message from Talus,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently you've got rather deeper roots here than any of us realized.
Okay.
It completely, and it completely explains what the points you were bringing up in that last meeting we had.
I think there's like just a pause for just a second, like holding a box or whatever, and then just right back to packing the ship. Just a little blip, right, of surprise.
Yeah.
What's it to you?
Well, a few things. First off, I mean, on the one hand, you're really good at what you do, and that guy Sebastian's not like hasn't got like 1/10 of the talent you have for this, and so it's going to be a bitch training up a new smuggler. On the one hand, on the other, though, just to be perfectly frank here. I kind of like having you around. And I think it's important in order for, I like to keep the machine working well, and the machine only works well when when the right people are satisfied. And I think you're one of the right people who needs to be satisfied. And I don't think you're going to be satisfied. If, as you say, running away from what, your family? Now? I'm not talking about Versai. You know that.
Obviously. If you'd met them, you wouldn't be saying that.
Were they weren't good? Yeah. They were no good for you?
Spoiled on the one end, the most spoiled person you could ever meet, fragile, selfish, and on the other side, backstabbing Bene Gesserit. I've been supplying them for decades as I got older and they stayed young. No more.
You've still got a chance to do stuff with the things they built. You can turn it to a different way. You clearly care about this planet. You want to?
I think that's.
You can, if you want. You can keep helping us. Do the right thing. It's important to have somebody, especially if it's your. I'm not even talking about your. Even if not your birth family, then the people that you maybe think of as your family.
I got a monkey. That's what I got.
Parsec is very impressive, but go ahead.
Parsec's a better listener than 99% of the people I've ever met in my life. You might be one of the exceptions.
I appreciate that.
And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to tell you things about my past that really don't matter anymore, but that matter clearly to you. Thing is, I don't think that your consort is going to do right by this planet or me.
And you can tell this is actually Nero's got a quick internal struggle going on. And he's kind of close his eyes. Are you sure? Do you have something? And he'll take a second. He'll have a twinge, and then he'll fall back to his training, and he will go to. I assume you've got something on her.
She showed up to my court, my family's court at least, right before my father was framed for treason. And what happened here when she showed up? What happened to the previous heir? People have a way of disappearing when they're in her way. She seems like caring about others is really not her top priority. But I'm not doing anything against her. I gave Rose the seed of a thought of how Rose could be in the future. I know better than to try to do anything against someone so powerful who already destroyed my family once. I'm just giving Rose some ideas and then getting out.
I never really questioned a lot about what Vivica was up to because she seems to care at least about. She seems to really like Alexis. She's like an aunt to her. Have I been myopic this entire time? Have I not let myself
I don't know.
See the big picture? Is she going to be just kind of snapping off pieces of our organization just to fit her whim? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what all of my experience tells me to expect. I'd watch Alexis.
Okay. You know, I can't honestly. My house, I can't claim to have got. I was nowhere near the seat of power for my house, so I can't understand what it's like as much to grow up with parents so tied in. I mean, we're shipbuilders. I married into all of this and was arranged. So I just did what I thought I was supposed to do. But all right, look. If she is bad, you know how important it is to me that this whole machine keeps running. And what you're telling me is basically that sooner or later Vivica's going to collapse the machine.
Just make herself the axle.
Yeah. The trouble is, if you got a bad axle, you get the same result.
Plenty of houses sustain themselves just fine on backstabbing, treachery, and unkindness.
Hunter, if you have to go, you have to go, and I can't understand all of it, but I understand enough. You've got to do what you need to. But that said, if things should happen to go down shortly, I certainly would not object to you being around. You know?
You're my friend, and I will have your back. And when I leave, of all the people who I've met since the collapse of my home, you are the one that I'll miss.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Same.
But I got your back now, while I'm still here.
All right. Well, that is much appreciated. Well, guess we've got a thing to attend, and
I may need your sword more than mine.
well, now that we've managed to actually sit down and talk about this without other crap being in the way. Ah! Oh, there we go.
Ah!
What the?
Now that we've managed to sit and talk about this without all this other crap being in the way, then I'm going to do my damnedest to have yours.
Thanks.
And he will, he'll offer his hand, essentially. And,
I'll shake. And like probably like do the thing where he grabs his forearm and then
yeah. We do the Vagabond King revelry thing, and
fair enough.
And then I load in my ship. So many cans of beans.
That was like one of the Law and Order scenes where like they're questioning someone and they're still doing whatever their job is.
Jordan, you have 2 minutes left with Parsec. We got to go.
Right. Okay. I think it might be meeting time. So this time, the consort is actually the first one there. I feel like maybe Talus arrives first after that. So. I can't imagine anyone's beating Talus to the room. So, hang on. But since this had a specific actual meeting time, I assume everyone's showing up roughly around the time that happens. So
I show up with Rose as usual.
And let's see. Okay, so do we want to take a break and then start with everyone having arrived at the meeting? Is that cool? All right.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Awesome.
Then let's do that real quick, and then we will move on. So, yep, break time.
All right, we shall take a quick break. We shall be back shortly, and we shall find out what is happening at this meeting. I'm very excited. See you folks
Thank you.
shortly.
All right.
We have returned.
Welcome back, and everyone has arrived at the meeting. This is the same room that all the other meetings have happened in so far in this game. It is one of the smaller dining rooms. In this case, there is no food, but drinks, however, have been served. There are bottles of many kinds of liquor as well as different kinds of wine, all of which are all of which are high quality. And the poison sniffer is definitely active, so all of it is apparently safe. Vivica actually stands as Talus enters and gives you a little nod, and then remains standing until everyone's in, and then doesn't dictate where anyone should sit. Kind of makes a more casual gesture towards the seats, and then has a seat at the head of. She was already at the head of the table, but has a seat herself. And let's see. Oh, that's weird. All right, I'm trying to message Lynn, but it's telling me you're not in the meeting. Oh, that worked.
There we go.
Okay. And she says, "Thank you all for coming." She sounds sincere. She says, "I've asked you all specifically here because I owe each of you something. And I'm not certain how much time I'm going to have to settle my accounts. Most of you have proved loyal to me." She looks to Hunter, or at least showed compassion to someone I care about. And that means something. And then she, again to Hunter, she says, "Your father was a good man, but he was surrounded by bastards. I was one of them. And it appears that," she looks around again, "I bring doom with me wherever I go. And so to the rest of you. Well, and Hunter as well." And she puts a little emphasis on Hunter, as if she's got some quotes around it now. I'm not asking for anything at this point, other than for you to tell me what it is you want. And if it is in my power to grant it, in the time that I think I may have left here, I will grant it." The floor is open to questions as well.
What do you mean the time you have left here? What are you anticipating right now?
I may need to leave. She looks to Silas. "The Bene Gesserit you've been tracking. I think she's after me.
Why?
There are many things the Bene Gesserit don't like. And I've done one of the things that's at the top of their list.
Project that they were doing on this planet a couple of decades ago.
That was part of it. But the big one, unfortunately, is I have well, I know I don't look it, but I'm 104 years old.
Gross. Hunter does not say that.
Wait, just to double check, the only way people can have longevity is through spice.
That is one way.
So there are others.
Yes, and her eyes are not blue.
Yeah,
Not
I was
even a
about to
little.
ask that. So are these other ways of longevity known to us, the populace?
Yeah, there were rumors. There were rumors that, especially to any of you would have heard these rumors, the Bene Gesserit are known for being able to alter their body chemistry. It's really hard to poison a Bene Gesserit, for example, because once the poison's in their body, if they detect it, they can turn it into something harmless, which means that what they have is really tight control over their biochemistry. And if you turn that towards not aging, that's going to work. It's very specialized. Not all of them can do it.
So
And
is she trying to imply?
it's generally known that they don't. So
So with this, is she trying to imply that she is a former Bene Gesserit renegade?
yep.
Oh. Hmm.
So if you leave, what does that? Okay, out of character. Would Rose know what like the hierarchy was of
Actually,
disappears?
it hasn't been established, so you could ask her directly.
Okay, if you leave, does that mean that our house has no consort? What does
Yes.
that do?
But it can mean for you whatever you want it to mean. As it stands, you're the heir, and I could do things to cement that position for you, if that's what you want. I could also do things to give you something that I recall someone recently asked you to pay attention to what you want, yes?
Yes.
Quick glance to Hunter on that one. If you wish to remain with this house and in this position, I can arrange that. It will be yours to hold on to or to lose, of course. But if you want to do something else, while I have the resources, I can give you a push in that direction too.
Does the Chancellor know about this?
Not yet. Right now?
Out of character.
Yeah.
He's not the type to really do anything, right?
Not really. She says, right now, only those of us in this room.
I need a moment to think.
Of course you do.
I think Hunter has a second of sort of trying to lock eyes with Rose in a sort of supportive way, like in a what you decide, it's going to be okay, but without using words.
Well, if you're not going to kill me, then I need to take charge. And I would like to do so and have the authority that I need. If you are going to kill me, then you're not. Because I'm going to get away.
She says, "That's wise."
Silas is thinking in his head, all this effort he put into trying to keep Rose safe, all the stress the Bene Gesserit gave is for nothing. Like, for him, he has no allegiance to the consort. Like, the moment he hears that the Bene Gesserit has no interest in Rose, it is like he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Oh, it's yeah. I guess in a flip side, it is the opposite for Talus. I think
Very much so. Yeah.
they have like that code. I think she is just like they're having like a side conversation. It's like, since when? When did you? No, I thought you'd tell me. When this happened?
Only 2 days ago. I thought I could handle it myself, but things are closing in.
And where are you going?
I'm not certain, but I don't want you to suffer for my situation. Though I could use some help if you wish to join me, it will be a significantly more uncertain life.
But the work here. And she'll look at Rose.
Yes, you do if you will take the position.
And then she'll like, capable hands. Question mark. Like that's just like they'll be like you would just I think you just see her like just like her eyes dart to Rose and then back to the consort and just kind of like there's some hand gesture and then just there's a little bit of like some body language that is questioning or is looking for confirmation is more of the
Rose confirms.
Bene Gesserit's feud with you, will it put Rose in the crossfire?
Not if I leave.
Will they at any point in the future, should they fail to capture you or assassinate you, target Rose?
Rose has done nothing to bring their ire. Not that I'm aware of.
You've trained me well. I know what I'm doing.
I think at that point, yeah, like Talos was like, just am I a target with this? Or is it just you?
No. It's personal, not categorical. Oh, wait. Jen, you're muted.
Well, I'm not muted.
Oh, sorry. Just checking. Just make sure. Right.
What's happening? Can people hear me? Testing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you tell me if you can hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Why did you I'm trying to think of a nice way to ask this without sounding rude, I should say, I suppose. Why did you take the actions that led to me being here versus the person who was here before?
She had the potential to expose me. And so I looked for someone that I thought was a better fit. But then you turned out to be something of an overachiever, Rose.
Well, you did pick an orphan that kind of snuck her way into art school. So maybe next time pick someone that's not quite as talented.
So I
Noted.
just want to clarify in front of all of these people that you sent the former consort and the former heir ostensibly to their deaths to protect you from the Bene Gesserit.
That was most of it, yes.
I hope they catch you.
Are they alive or did they die?
Well, it appears one of them is dead. Information I've received recently implies that the other is decidedly not.
Do you know where they are?
On this planet, but beyond that, I'm not certain.
Wait, they're here?
One
Okay,
of them.
Well, I'm going to need to find and make sure they're okay. I have nothing against them. I'm not the one who sent them to their death, so.
They might not know that.
We still have to make sure they're okay. Can you do that for me, please?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
Already on it. Phone.
Yeah.
Make sure they're set up nicely, and we'll try to work this out another time. When they have time to cool down and not think they're going to be killed, because that's not any way to live, to think that you're going to be killed any moment.
No, it's not. Unfortunately, it's the lot I've chosen for myself. But it's nice to see that some of you might be moving away from that. Nero?
I have just a few items. One, I have invested too much time and effort into this organization to let it collapse on us. Work with Rose. Transfer over whatever you need to. Make sure the bottom doesn't fall out from under us and the machine keeps working.
I could do that.
2, and Nero will glance over at Hunter and glance back. Hunter should have the right to, I think, recover whatever he can of his legacy here.
Hunter has a legacy here?
Meaning what?
It's up to him to decide if he wants to go into it or not. But
My family was Austerium before this one decided to betray them, get my father killed, send the rest of us into exile. That's what they're talking about.
So you're the rightful heir?
There's no rightful. The Emperor cycles us from planet to planet to planet. There's no rightful. The only people who are rightfully here are the people who were here before the Empire decided to send people.
He
I'm
was the
just
heir.
a little more rightful than the people who are in charge now.
He was the heir and wasn't. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Hunter? Are you going to take charge? You have a lot of great ideas. You're very smart, capable.
If I knew a way to live without fearing whispers and hidden eyes, backstabs, maybe. It
That's
seems
what
to
this
me like
life
it's no way to
requires.
live. Exactly. Why do you think my ship's all stocked up for a long haul? It's no.
Would you be willing to consult at least? Could I call you?
Yeah. Fred, you can call me. Call me whenever you want.
How about this? This world needs a governor. And traditionally, that governor should be someone of the ruling house. Rose, are you interested in that?
Yes.
That I can arrange.
But I'm also concerned about the actions of the other houses.
Which ones?
The ones trying to sabotage us.
I can't do much about that. Ah.
Because if we're going to this island, we can help make a nice place. But if someone decides they would like to, steal it, or this planet, I mean, if they decide they want to steal it, we're left defenseless. Because I don't think the chancellor's really. I think he's got other things on his mind right now that don't involve governing.
You're not wrong, which is why I think you might actually be the best thing for this world. And why me leaving would actually assist you a great deal. Since I'm leaving anyway, I could make a bit more noise than usual. That would serve to draw the fire of some of the people that might otherwise turn those resources towards bringing this to a ruin. It won't last long, but I can buy you some time.
Do I need it?
You'll need it.
Okay.
That house is off of you. Someone else will pursue you. The better you do, the more will come. This reprieve will be so small, you won't even remember it a few years from now.
You'll have people around you that will help, though, which is more than I usually get.
More than you usually were.
Oh, I was never that. But as I said, each of you has helped me, whether you meant to or not. And she looks at Talus. Some of you greatly at a personal sacrifice. And I pay my debts.
If I might finish my list. You'll say, I'd request then simply that whatever Hunter chooses to do, as an addendum to item 2, should things be set in motion that should he ever at any point be on this planet, he is protected.
Well,
He's
that's not up to
welcome.
me. That would be the new governor's decision, yes?
Right, Nira's talking to Rose.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of talking to both of them because
Yeah.
I'm expecting them to work together to set shit
that
up.
That was Hunter in character.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. That was Hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that he will be welcome, he will be protected, and those whom he designates shall be welcome and protected as well. I would request that as you're performing transition, that there be something put in place to ensure that. You can come and go as you please, old man. Item 3. And he's going to look squarely at Vivica. You give Alexis an out. She adores you. And I'm very concerned right now that she's not getting to do what she really wants to, or that she's only doing what she thinks she wants to in the moment. She's very good at what she does, and she may indeed just continue following her current path, but that is for her to decide.
Indeed it is.
I want, before you leave, for you to talk to her and give her an out. If she wants, I would like her to have the opportunity to be a teenager.
That is a rare gift, and one that I am happy to attempt to provide.
You're not thinking she might go with her. She's not going to go with her, is she?
Not if I have anything to say about it.
No, nor I.
And yeah, I don't want that either.
That is not the life for her. She has much more potential.
And I want her to achieve whatever potential she wants to achieve. Same for the boys, actually. But
I'll do what I can to. I'll do what I can to smooth the path.
That would be very.
We're all clear that all of this is because of her ass being on the line, right? Everyone here knows that this change of heart is only motivated by self-interest.
Oh, I'm not doing it out of altruism.
That's why
I'm not pretending to be your friend here.
Indeed. And with all due respect, that is why my items are not requests.
No. I understand my situation. And I think you're all beginning to see yours as well.
What's the next item on your list?
Those were the three. I thought I'd try to keep it short. Everything else we can sort out on the back end, I think.
Okay. I would like for Reginald to sit beside me at the party.
Absolutely. That will make an interesting statement.
Yeah, that's my point. I want to, I'm not purposefully shaking things up, but I just figure somebody lower on a totem pole looking like they're getting a higher position would possibly do that.
Your greatest strength is people underestimate you.
Yes.
Keep that up. And I confess, I was one of them.
I'll take that as a compliment. Now, what would you need to get off the island in exchange for all of this stuff that you're giving us right now?
I've already begun setting the wheels in motion, so unless any of you directly opposes me, I'll be gone very soon. And as Hunter pointed out, part of this is me hoping you will not directly oppose me. I'll admit it. I'm tired. But I can't change my spots now.
I think Hunter's eye actually twitches.
Well, I think you know what we're all capable of, so I don't think you're going to step out of line at all. You possibly are a little bit in over your head with us.
Oh, yes. The other reason I asked you all here is you're specifically the people I don't want to cross. Look where it got me now.
And that being said, I would like for the rest of you to remain on my team if possible.
wherever I go, without a doubt.
Silas?
You hear me?
Oh, I
Yes.
can hear you now.
Wait, can you repeat that last, Janie? I think I cut off for a bit.
Oh.
Sorry. No, I just requested for all of you to stay on my team.
Of course. So long as your claim to the throne remains absolute, there will always be those who will take it from you. And I will be here to make sure that doesn't happen. And as he said that, his eye sort of goes to Hunter for a bit. Sort of like an unspoken threat. Come for the throne, or else, and things will happen.
Rose is not
There's a
worried
little
about
bit
that
of an
at
eye
all.
roll. There's a little bit of an eye roll.
Actually, that gets a little bit of a smile from Vivica.
Yeah. Silas is one track mind.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, she was like, all right.
And Nero will just sort of say, "Well, of course, I've invested a lot in this machine, and I think you're." And he'll sort of slyly looking over at Hunter for a second. I think, but still talking to Rose. I think you'll make a very good axle for it.
Well, it sounds like everyone is staying on, and I don't. Is there anything else that we want to address?
I am
this
actually
meeting?
curious what Talus, if Talus is
Yeah,
going to say anything.
She'll
Yeah,
look
I-
at Rose and just like, I'll do what I can to make sure that this turnover is smooth and leaves way for you to do what you want.
Are you remaining after the turnover?
Yes.
Okay. Well, since that's been addressed, does anybody else have any items for the meeting? Rose is taking charge of the meeting.
I like that. That's good. Yeah.
Any other items to address?
So we are not making any outward move against House Talilac for their attempts.
Oh, we're going to make attempts, but we need to do that in a closed meeting with the top staff.
Oh my god!
Get the snake in the grass out of the room before you plan an assault. Is that a correct translation?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if that's it, then I'm going to dismiss this portion of the meeting, and I would ask for my close staff to stay in so we can discuss further.
Vivica leaves.
I would
She'll
think
what was
Hunter,
it?
at least
Talus will make a few hand signals at Ruka before.
Mm-hmm. She responds.
I have to work in one more tiny thing. Just sort of he'll be, and once again he'll kind of almost resume his no, Nero's been unusually quiet for a lot of this. But he almost resumes his kind of cheerful stance for a moment as she's leaving, and he'll just sort of come over to do kind of a handshake type deal, and in so doing, if she permits it, in so doing, we'll just basically say, well, for what it's worth, it actually has been quite overall, it has been decent. At least working with you. Do let me know if you need assistance reaching your destination, and should you fall off the map, and as we're watching things, should there be any difficulties afterward from items perhaps not met, well, It does take me a while sometimes to find people, as our friend, he says, glancing again in Hunter's direction, can attest. But when I need to find someone, I always do.
I have no doubt, Nero.
Safe journey to you.
And she heads off. You note in the direction of your family's wing.
Good. No, that's good. That's exactly what I asked her to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually, this probably is going to be this might actually be good news to Evangeline. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Actually, fair point.
Once she's gone, Rose is going to look so relieved. And she's been like, I thought she was going to put a hit out on me.
Now you're in charge now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say? I just wanted to show that she was relieved.
Well, she just said like, "Oh, you're in charge now." So,
right. So we're going to need to make a plan to deal with all of the real problems going on. Y'all are sticking around for that, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Right. Well, yes.
we do need to deal with that. That house.
I can have my people ready within the hour.
Totally, yeah.
Like, are you like actually doing this?
Yeah, I love it. Silas is like, did someone say attack? Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. How about now? That sounded like attack.
Yeah.
No. I found attack. That's
Damn it. Sits back down.
No, I said pass the salt, not launch an assault. And at this point, actually, we could sort of move into epilogue mode because once you've worked out what your plan is, I mean, it'll be easy to determine whether it works or not. It's really kind of how that goes. So, yeah, what do you want to do? Because, I mean, yeah, what it boils down to is, yeah, the primary issue is that it's House Flilax.
Expose them, right?
That would actually not be difficult to do.
I feel like something really fun could happen at the like party to
Yeah.
expose them. Like,
Oh, like wait till
yes.
then.
Dramatic way, yes.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I like that. Be super dramatic about it. Yeah, you're not.
This is the House of Drum.
I mean, also it's
Fair
like
point.
it's really juicy for like like any sort of media. Like they're not going to ignore them because it's juicy. It's not like oh it's a dry like here is the evidence of this house. No, it's during a party.
Oh, I like that. And more to the point, you've got multiple people that are going to see it, and they won't be able to shut all of them up. So
it's in front of like pretty much.
Oh, like everybody.
Yeah. This is.
So we're doing it at the party?
Yes, we're doing it at the
Oh,
party.
hang on.
Yeah, I mean we're also the arts house, so we can really make this good.
Oh, that's a fair point. All right.
Sorry, I had to put the cape back on.
I love it. All right. Well, okay. Like I said, explosive thing's going to be easy. So, like, y'all tell me what happens because how does it work and how are they thoroughly exposed and embarrassed by this?
I think that Rose at least would she's gonna act like she doesn't know what's going on. She's got this whole party girl persona.
Right.
Date and it looks like they're having so much fun. And I think she would try to set up so that would happen while it looked like, there was this really fun moment. And then somebody has like an accusation or something. Just kind of interrupting it, and the music will stop.
Oh, nice. Just make it impossible to ignore. Okay.
They're like laughing, dancing happily. Obviously, this is a fake couple, but they're playing a role.
Yeah.
And then like that there's the accusation and the music stops. And please somebody add on to that.
What evidence do you have that you can show to people? Is there a recording? Like, can someone be unmasked? Like what?
I mean, we got Ruby. We got like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've got Ruby first off, and then you've got and yeah, like by this time you've amassed enough stuff. Actually, yeah. Tell us, you broke the codes. You've got actual recordings. You've got translated recordings.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my gosh, you've got things you could play.
Yeah. Over the loudspeaker, we'll just like we'll just.
And then
I love it.
A remix.
It's like the idea of like spotlights going on this Ruby. He's like,
yeah,
what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it that you've let it go that long. That's awesome.
I mean, we have eyes. I mean, if we like,
oh yeah,
if it's gonna force him to do something, if like as long as we have like,
nope, that was excellent.
We can take care of this at any point. Just like let it.
So yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, nice. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly how that works out. Basically, what you've ended up with is incontrovertible exposure of the of House Thylax, which means that the Empire can't ignore it, so they are forced to react in a punitive manner, which means that. Go ahead.
And in the meantime, I will have gotten tried to get any nobles that we managed to snare into the pleasure yacht on board, so that we can effectively blackmail them into supporting the this action.
You've had more time to do that, so yeah, not a problem. Some of them were annoyingly uncorruptible, but you got enough. Some of them were it was a combination. Some of them were honest enough that they didn't fall for it. And then a couple of them were just so corrupt that it wasn't worth it. They were just like, yeah, whatever. They didn't care if you exposed them. They were like, everyone knows. So, but you got that delicious sort of middle group that you're able to successfully coerce.
Excellent.
Yeah. And some of them were, of course, now at the gala. So.
And I feel like if Ruby decides to run, Alexis might end up going after her, but it'll just sort of depend on
oh wow,
how that goes.
Yeah, I think it may happen.
Although it depends on how that conversation came out, but yeah.
I think that when it's revealed about Ruby, Rose will act really super shocked and look betrayed.
Oh yes.
You know what? She'll not throw her drink, but you know how they splash their drinks on people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. I love that.
Oh, there you go.
Surprise Pikachu face. Just
yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
And my favorite part about this is Rose is the first person to figure that out. So Rose has known about Ruby the actual longest, and is like, oh no.
It took a long time to like figure out the best like. Oh my God, Faye! Like
Oh yeah, you got to work on that.
Yeah. What is the maximum?
I practiced this so many times in my mirror.
I like it a lot. All right, so what ends up happening is House Thylax is imperially barred from coming back to this planet, and investigations over at the island. At Latan's Island show that there were barely any members of House Latan even there anymore.
Did Silas get the assault to get the island attack?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Of course you did. So yeah, you led the assault And actually, thanks to Nero, you had help because Ionis would have been able to supply some particularly nice landing craft. And then on top of that, some of the houses that you had coerced suddenly became really gung-ho about getting Twi'leks off this island, implying that maybe Twi'leks had dirt on them too. So they're like, oh yeah, we will help you. We will help you get these people off the planet.
Perfect. Ships and spotlight just all over.
Oh, it looks great. It looks great. And you got to fight people. It was awesome.
Catharsis.
Yes.
You got
Because they did actually put up some resistance. And they put up,
I mean,
yeah, they were, they had nothing left to lose at that point. But yeah, you planned it too well, and B, I think you just outnumbered them at that point. So you removed them. So that was the big thing. Do we want to go around and do sort of a longer term epilogue for everyone?
Yeah.
Was it for Silas like the situation of like party's over, take off the suit? It's like here's like assault armor. It's like we go.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, just activates his shield and gets on a boat.
He is always wearing his armor no matter in what function he's in. He just puts something casual, formal over.
Yeah. It's like really nice. I love that, like some sort of dress uniform, and then like somehow completely concealing the armor under it. It's just you're that good.
Yep. It's like those Broadway quick costume change where you just rip.
Yeah.
I like to think that Rose would get Silas like a sword that looks like a rose, like the hilt looks like a rose on the bottom.
Nice.
Until he unsheathes it, and it's like this really sharp and
perfect.
That's badass. I like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, party initially was going to be in the honor of the consort. Is the consort still there? Is it?
Oh
still...
no.
Okay.
The consort is not at the party.
So then neither is Hunter.
Okay.
Because Hunter would be watching shipyards and orbit like a fucking hawk as soon as that meeting was over. Probably didn't even stay for the rest of most of that meeting.
Maybe didn't.
And
yeah.
Has been lying in wait as smugglerly hidden as he possibly can in orbit around the planet.
Okay.
So yeah, when she tries to go, he's gonna try to follow.
Okay. She's good, but you were watching, and you almost fall for the first decoy. But you're convinced you have the right one that you're following now.
This will play into my epilogue. So.
Gotcha. All right. Anyone want to go first, or should I just go around what I see as the table?
Yeah, don't mind following the table.
All right. So let's, I guess in that case, yes?
Probably go before Hunter, I think.
Sorry, everyone froze for a second. So I was...
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone here? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm starting with Nero because Nero is at the top of my screen.
Okay. So there are a couple of little things. One is the more immediate question. I just need to know how did the family take this? How are they? How are my wife and children doing?
Doing fine. Vange does not see her job as having changed at all. And Alexis is... Alexis has decided to continue doing what she was doing, but you can tell that her outlook is different now. You get the sense that her worldview has been broadened, meaning she might decide to diverge at some point.
Okay. I'm fine with her continuing to be an assassin and all that. It's just it needs to be what she wants to do. That's the important thing. Yeah.
I have a quick question with that. Would Rose be able to make her have not less assignments, but just kind of steer her toward, give her more teenage type stuff?
Charge.
Go to homecoming and then kill the target.
Right. Yeah, I mean, totally.
That's a really dark episode of 21 Jump Street.
All right.
It's a reboot, so it's got to be darker.
Oh, you're right. What was I thinking? Damn, now I want to make that show.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. She can take on a if she's sort of allowed to, given the room to like sort of decide what she wants to do, then she can actually attend a party without there being an agenda if she wants.
Huh.
For a change.
Maybe she'll see what that's like.
Yeah. It's like, would you like to make actual friends?
On the plus side, she is literally at the party planet right now.
This is true.
She could, she's got more opportunities than most to do that very thing. Good point. Okay.
Exactly. So yes, on the one hand, yes, it's basically Nero continues to do largely what he was doing. His point is it's his duty to make sure that things keep working, and so he does so. But he's a little bit less worried. He is a bit more carefree, and is able to continue playing the role of the absolute corrupt bastard to the hilt if he so desires, because it's fun for him. But and actually, to be honest, his position is that his wife and children are the ones who are despite any evidence that might be to the contrary, he believes his wife and children are the ones who are better at deception, better at spying. He thinks that for himself, he's just himself, only bigger when he plays the other role. So
fair enough.
He has a slightly different approach.
Okay.
But the other minor thing, tiny little coda thing, is that I think that if this works out, and he's gone through and made the necessary arrangements, that the logistics master of the Salt Guild, Laris Forrester, will receive a present of a submarine.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we call a long-term project, but it'll happen. So yeah, okay.
Because keeping the people who make this planet work happy is very important.
That'll go a long way. So yeah, okay. All right. Anything else before we move on to Silas?
I don't think so. I mean, it's mostly just shots of people partying on the yacht. I think that's basically.
Yeah. It's a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Silas, long-term epilogue for Silas.
I mean, he will ever remain faithful and loyal to the heir and maintain his position as the guard. Like the revelation of Hunter being the true heir to him doesn't really add much other than another potential enemy that could take the throne from Rose. That's all that is to him. So yeah, he lives his life the way he's always been. But
got it. Okay.
Yeah. And I was at some point he does visit the Bene Gesserit after everything. If she's still like in the planet.
Oh yeah. She confirms that yes, that's exact. She actually was here for a completely different mission, and then she got wind that the consort was coming, and started investigating the Bene Gesserit suspicions about the consort.
Oh.
So a lot of what she was doing was specifically trying to figure out if Vivica had been extending her life. And because Vivica's very good at not being spotted by that, the Bene Gesserit was having a tough time figuring that out. But basically things that each of you did at some point helped expose her is really what it boils down to. So, like, without realizing you were doing it, it was like putting that information sort of out there that she could eventually find. So yeah.
Oh. Wait, then what was she here in the first place if not for Vivica? What was her original mission?
She was actually supposed to assassinate the head of the Salt Guild, but she realized quickly that the head of the Salt Guild was too well protected, and it wasn't worth what they were paying her. So she refunded the money, and also was like, I have bigger fish to fry. I think there's a rogue Bene Gesserit here, so screw you. Is really what happened.
Oh, so, those meetings with the Salt Guild. Okay.
Yep.
Things are falling into place.
That was what it was. And but yeah, part of that was Paolo was too good at his job. Is kind of what that happened. What was wrong with that? So yeah, that did not really pan out for her. And let's see, she does not tell you who hired her to do that, though. She is keeping that secret. You could try to find it out, but she won't tell you. I'll tell you that.
I mean, now that I know she's not a threat to Rose, I'll basically just the meeting basically goes to, it seems I was wrong. He basically, in his own way, tried to apologize for targeting her for something that he just puts on her, just naturally assumes, you know.
I like that. Her response is, "You were doing your job, and I was doing mine."
Good. Then we understand each other.
I think we do. Well,
and then I tell her Vivica's details. And Silas will just says, well, but you say, I have nothing against the consort, but you are still a Bene Gesserit, and the idea of you being so close to the heir puts me ill at ease. So I shall help you with your job and get you out of the planet as soon as possible. That's basically his goal.
I've never benefited quite so much from a lack of trust, but I thank you.
Like you said, just doing my job.
Yes. Good evening.
And we part ways.
And so that brings us to Rose.
So the consort was really right about Rose, that she underestimated her, and if she had stayed around much longer without like killing Rose, that she probably would have not in herself. But also Rose is still, trying to help everyone. She's doing what she promised. She's also kind of I'm going to say she's making it seem like she's grooming Reg to help her out.
Yeah.
But not sure how that's going to do with his house since he's so low on his totem pole.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I will tell you, long term, though, getting most of the people that actually live on this planet on your side makes it a lot harder for anyone to screw with you and to do anything to weaken your status on the planet, because you've built a lot of support is really what it boils down to.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a strong support and make sure there's really good security because, well, like I said, the consort really did underestimate maybe. I can't talk right now.
But yeah, you're right.
Her inner circle would know that she's trying to possibly. She's waiting for the chancellor to, not be around anymore, because she's going to make some changes on the other planet they have too.
Wow, got it. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't like the system, so she's going to do what she can to destroy.
All right. I like that a lot. Yeah, and it's not that won't be challenging, but you're coming into it with a strong base, so that works out.
Yeah, and I'm making sure that at least this world will shield me if everything goes wrong. Then I can, find a little rock in the middle of nowhere and live on it.
Yeah, worst case scenario. Yeah, you can.
Or can find Hunter's ship and be like, Hunter, help.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you've got someone that can literally smuggle you off world if you need to.
Like, help! They figured out They're tearing on the system. Help me get out.
All right. So this brings us to Talus. Or do we need to do Hunter first?
I think Tal should probably go. I think
Okay.
it might affect what Hunter's doing, maybe. Okay, so Talus has been mostly truthful, but she definitely lied. She left with the consort.
Ooh. Oh shit, then I might have indirectly killed Talus as well.
I mean, they've worked together too long, and I think she did leave. She did not like leave Rose like kind of like in the lurch a little bit. Like you did get like she had prepared like before she left, like people that can take over the way things are run, all that stuff. It's actually like an obnoxiously large document that she left.
Oh yeah, it's going to be super detailed, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think there's going to be like a message that's just going to kind of come down to like I don't have a room in my mind for sentimentality, so I figured it was just to cut this off at the base. So here are things to keep to at least have the transfer over is smooth. And I knew I wasn't going to have to stay just because my managerial style is more ruthless, I think, than you wish to be. And it would just end up stifling whatever you're doing. And you need to do whatever you need to do here with your full support from the people that work under you. We did pick you for a reason, and we wouldn't have left you here without knowing that you would continue your work here.
Nice. Well, if that's it, I think we only have Hunter left.
So Hunter's gone for a long time, like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
If Rose reaches out for information, she'll get a response, fairly terse and relayed, so that it looks like it's coming from somewhere in the galaxy that it's definitely not coming from. But for the most part, just nowhere to be seen. And what Hunter is doing for the first part of that is trailing the consort. And Lynn, this is where I'm going to tell you what Hunter would do, and then we can like figure out how it ends up not being PvP, because I don't want to.
No. I knew this was going to happen at some point.
Okay. So like what Hunter's doing is waiting and watching for when she has basically done what she needs to do to fulfill what she promised.
Mm-hmm.
And when she is as open and vulnerable as she possibly can be, and he's going to message his grandma her location. And that is the last time he ever communicates with his grandmother or his mother.
Okay.
The rest of the time he is out in space doing like fucking fun smuggling jobs.
Oh yeah. Actually,
running through, unrealistically close asteroid belts and
right.
Do you ever go back? Do you ever go back to the planet?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait to see if Hunter like Talus left you a puzzle box.
Let me come back first, and then I want to I can in mind with that.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 years out, he comes back and basically acts like none of this happened. Like resumes a relationship with Nero if Nero is up for it.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Hunter the Smuggler.
So, respect for friendship.
I will just say that probably, maybe very occasionally, maybe only once or twice, for some strange, mysterious reason, most of the time, I'm sure no one can find you, but maybe once or twice, someone in the guild will drop off a gift basket for you.
You'll even sometimes you'll just get nice messages.
I think when Hunter comes back, there will be a really nice place for him to stay.
For him to stay. Yeah.
Everything he wants.
Oh yeah.
Like he never left. Like probably open invite to wherever Rose is.
Does a lot of like that, like trying to anchor Rose in living life advice that he did before. He does a lot of work for the Salt Guild. Like I think that's where he really focuses his energy. And apparently he finds a puzzle box. Tell me about the puzzle box.
So it's one of those like real annoying ones, and I guess inside is documents from Talus. So I don't like doing things matters of sentimentality in front of people, so I figured that this, no matter what happens, that this would, you should probably know. What happened to your family was purely numbers. And I am the one that takes care of the cold, hard facts for the consort.
Ooh. What a mentat thing to say, too.
I know.
I think it was like there's also a thing that like this is to partially absolve the consort.
Yeah. I got chills.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh my god. I think that's like, I don't know where Hunter would go from that. I think that's a good end.
It also might happen because he did like, I mean, Talus and the concert might be dead depending on like what.
Well, and maybe Hunter is done hunting them. Hunter is.
I like that two different people put different Bene Gesserit on her tail specifically. So
I love it.
So and again though, maybe, but keep in mind she's clearly like stayed several steps ahead of them for many decades. So I like it that that's up in the air. I love that.
Think?
Yeah.
Well, and Hunter intended to leave it that way. Like he doesn't know or care.
No.
Like that is not his fight anymore. He did what he needed to do to serve his obligation to his family, and it's no longer his fight. I think his jaw drops at that letter.
I think when I messaged Brian about it, I think it was going to be like, I went in with the assumption Hunter is there's a good chance that Hunter will kill Talus. I'm like, yeah, that'll be great. That'll be she deserves.
Oh my god, so cool.
Yeah, so Lynn messages me with this, and my only response was just, wow.
Oh my god.
And honestly, that's my response to this game. Thank you all for playing. I think I don't think we can top what just happened, so that's great.
Nice.
So thanks for playing. Thanks for the intrigue. Thanks for all the scheduling. Thanks for putting up with the fact that Jim and I planned this game during literally every holiday that exists, and we appreciate that. But also, I think that I can't come up with a way to wrap it up better than what everyone's epilogue just did. So,
yay!
That was awesome.
Yes, indeed. Thank you all so much. This has been great. I'm going to go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and do our outros then. Thanks everyone for coming and watching this. Much appreciated. Thank you. By the way, thank you, Valdrianth, for the raid. Don't know if you're still hanging out, but very much appreciate your coming in. This was really awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We're going to go ahead and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you have about this campaign. And we're going to go ahead and, as is tradition, we start once again with Brian.
I already said thanks for playing. I already said thanks for watching. I mean, all that a lot. I think the places you can find me are over in the chat, but I'm Vaclam on all the things. Vaclam 23 on the things that I'm not just Vaclam on. And but yeah, seriously, everything I liked about it was everything. So thanks a lot for playing. Having 5 players turned out to be slightly more challenging than I thought it was going to. So I appreciate all of you putting up with that. Yeah, it was cool, and I don't have anything more to say that's not repeating myself. So yay.
Yay! Ryan, thank you so much for running this. This was very cool. I very much appreciate your jumping in and doing all of these things and putting up with our especially my absurd sense of of labyrinths for this whole thing. So we're gonna and now we're gonna go now. Continuing reverse order, we go over to Nicky.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nick, and you can find me on all social media as NickSnat1, the number 1. I rarely post on there, but when I do, you can see it, I suppose. But yeah, this game was fun. It's nice to play in a more intrigue espionage game for a change compared to the usual TTRPG where you're mostly, fighting people and stuff like that. Even though I play as a character who wants to fight and kill people, he doesn't do it because that's not his job most of the time.
You got to do a little though, so that was good.
Yeah, a little. And yeah, it was fun to play with all of you as well. I hope I stumble upon you all again in the TTRPG wilds in the future.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right, and sorry.
Yes. After this, I am currently appearing at TTRPG's new Mork board game. The T is spelled TEA. We just started a Mork board game last week, and session 2 will be in 2 days' time from today.
Nice.
So catch me there. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Excellent. And so that means we are moving over to Janie.
Janie Pot 75 on social media. I really like getting to play this game. I like getting to play something where my character can be a little bit sneaky or a lot bit sneaky. I don't always get to play characters like that, and that was a lot of fun. And it was a lot of fun to kind of have her decide that instead of just running off, she was just going to try to, tear apart everything inside. It was just a lot of fun, and I really enjoy getting to play with all of you. I hope I get to again. And I don't think I have anything else for days. I don't know. What is time?
It's a flat circle of some kind. I'm not sure.
I'm just going to stop talking like I always do.
Oh, no worries. Awesome. It was awesome having you. Thank you so much. I loved the ideas you came up with and how you and how you set up the air. It was glorious. It was so fun. And now we're going to head over to Jen.
Alrighty. Yeah, you can't find me anywhere. I'm that mysterious. Not really on social media. If you're going to follow anybody, follow Play Cancer Away, which is an organization for patients and by patients to give people a break from thinking about cancer and also to raise money for cancer research and to other causes. And let's see, you can see me on Graham Cracker's channel every other Tuesday. We start at 4:30 Pacific time, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. But the Tuesdays I'm not there, there's another great game in the same world. And I get to play a sweet, motherly, furbolg, like honeybee raiser, like not aggrieved at all in any way. And starting March 12th on Sword and Key, I'm going to be running a game of Brindlewood Bay.
Ooh, I like that game.
And actually Val is one of my players. And it's really neat. It's a group that most of them I ran a Monster Hearts game with a year and a half ago, and then as a group are like now returning to play together again. So that's really cool. And that's me for now. And I just want to thank Brian for running this. Like, this is great. And like, I know like these more like open, like when you have players who get really involved and there's like a more open flow of play, like that can be glorious and also a whole other kind of work. So like the intense focus that you have to have during these games, like, thank you so much. It paid off. I really loved the story that you built with us and how you helped us weave it together.
Yay, thank you.
Yay. Jen, thank you so much for playing. I loved the scenes we got to do together. I just have to say, I was still, early on when we went on that little jaunt, I was still figuring out who Nero was kind of as a character. So which is why I'm actually so glad we got to come back around and do some scenes sort of toward the end, because that was really cool. That was really awesome. I loved it. And now finally over to Lynn.
Hey, I'm Lynn. Gremlin art pretty much everywhere. You can find my art there. And you can catch me, I think, next on Saturdays on Wandering DM for Scion Birth of New Gods, where I get to play a Kitsune Godling. And then later on the same day at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Sangapi's Fortune on Paxagorth's Mephorius channel, where we are playing a high-level D&D game, and I get to play Glamour Bard, who is planning her wedding and also probably going to take place in a big battle, so things are busy for her right now. And yeah, this has been a ton of fun. I love intrigue, playing intrigue with everybody. There's so much shifting thing, and everyone's kind of like trying to fill each other out. And yeah, these type of games are like, can be like hard thing, but like I think everybody like was on the ball here. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Thanks so much.
Yay! And thank you so much for playing. I always enjoy getting to play with you. Thank you so much. This was very cool. Very, very cool. And I'm just actually glad to have been able to play with everyone as a player. I think so. So this was very. It's a great experience. Always glad when I get to rest at least a little bit. That's the very cool. Also, just this whole campaign has been. I've really enjoyed it. I think that it's. I very much. I tend a lot. As people have noticed, I tend to lean a lot into, perhaps I tend to lean a lot more into Le Carre than into, say, something like Fleming when it comes to spy type stuff. And so I was very pleased to have the opportunity to vent that here, essentially, and just be the guy who's like looking over things and piecing things together through different information sources. I really enjoyed that a lot. And of course, the Dune setting is very rich, much richer than I even realized. And I heartily enjoyed the take on it. I loved that we got to do almost kind of an inversion of Arrakis in many ways, and that we got to do a spy house that was also an art house, and that's basically two things that I love combined. And so what more could one ask for? I ask you. So this was really awesome. And so thanks to everyone for participating in this. Thanks to everyone for watching this, whether you're doing it live or whether you're doing it later. I very much appreciate it. Who am I? I will never know. But right now I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter, and also on Hive and Mastodon and most other social media platforms. Where I'm not OtherDoc, you can find me at Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast that I did a while back, and links to my various other audio thingies and writings and such. Down below, you can access on this here on my Twitch page. You can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. We have quite recently launched the second arc here of the Don't Rest Your Head campaign that I am running, where I'm running two groups who are at the same time superpowered insomniacs running from nightmares in the Mad City. They will be there at the same time. Actually, neither group has gotten into the Mad City yet, but we'll take care of that shortly. So Friday we have we have one group that I'm currently on what I'm calling Story Omega until I actually figure out what the title is, which they'll be hammering that out shortly. And then there's also the Monday night arc, which I'm currently calling Story Alpha. And so I just want to see those two groups circle each other for a while and see what happens. I think it'll be fun because Arc 1 was a lot of fun, and I'm really going to look forward to seeing how they change the city and what new nightmares are spawned as a result. And that is everything that is currently going on, aside from me playing video games occasionally. I've been playing a lot of Age of Mythology recently, once again.
Oh,
it's been fun revisiting that. We're just doing Norse stuff lately. But probably in a couple of weeks, so around the end of this month, beginning of next month, on Tuesday nights, we're going to be starting a campaign of Electric Bastion Land. Very short campaign. This is an OSR-inspired game with fairly simple rules. Where we're all in this sort of fantastical, strange city inhabited by sort of ordinary human type people, and also aliens, and also recreations of life, artificial life forms. And we're all in debt to someone, and we all have to go treasure hunting in order to pay those debts. And so I think that's going to be very interesting. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We are setting up to do our off-stream session 0, and then we're going to do some on-stream world-building stuff probably like the following week. So again, Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern, toward the end of this month, beginning of next month is when to look for that. And I shall make announcements when that happens. In the meantime, well, we're going to go say hi to somebody when we hit the end card. Probably we're going to go and say hi to the initiative order if they're still going. They're doing something right now. Don't know if they're about to end their stream or not, but they've been up for almost 2 hours, so we're going to try to catch them and say hi. If we can. If not, we'll raid somebody else. But feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care. And remember, the slow blade penetrates the shield. Good night, folks.